The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1 in 30 minutes. 7-time Pro Bowler. To me, a guy that could get into the Hall of Fame. A Super Bowl champ, Dwight Freeney, is going to be joining us. Dwight was a dude. Dwight Freeney. Jason McIntyre, J-Mac, joining the show today. We're off tomorrow, so you're giving everything you got today. Yeah, you're emptying the tank today.
Yes.
That's what I want. So LeBron plays Toronto tonight in Toronto. LeBron and the Cavs won game 1. They play again tonight, game 2. I'm going to make a prediction. I don't bet the NBA. I'm going to make a prediction. Toronto is going to win tonight. The damage, though, has been done. The baby dinosaurs, LeBron is in their head. Yesterday, Chris Broussard was on Speak for Yourself, and we started talking about Toronto, and I thought he brought up some interesting points. Here's Chris Broussard yesterday on Speak for Yourself.
There's a spirit over that franchise, like they're second rate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be because they're not in America, but they've never been able to keep a superstar. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Chris Bosh. They're building their team knowing they're second rate. Kyle Lowry, very good player, but was a journeyman before he went there. DeMar DeRozan, a star, not a superstar. And look at outside of those two guys, basically everybody else is international. They're getting guys that will stay in Toronto. They're not ready for prime time.
They're not.
So they'll be a good regular season team, first, second round, something like that. But they're not a prime time team.
Totally agree.
And that kind of engulfs the entire franchise.
The last 3 times Cleveland's played Toronto and it had a big field to it, this year LeBron's taken over the game and they won. And this is something that you can go to therapy about this. This is the reality, is the way, I can't speak for women, this is how most men operate. If you're a comic and you're really good and you travel the country and you sell out theaters, but you go on Johnny Carson in his prime or David Letterman and Jay Leno and you bomb, that will stay with you forever. Even if the next night you get in a plane, go to Santa Monica and crush, go to New York and crush, go to Minneapolis and crush, go to Denver and crush, go to Dallas and crush, go to Atlanta and crush. You bomb on Carson, you bomb on Letterman, you bomb on Leno, that never leaves your head. That is between your ears forever. And it will affect your performance. Not at the small clubs, but it'll affect your brand and your performance when you go back on TV. You've been branded. Clayton Kershaw has the lowest ERA in 100 years. He struggled in the postseason, 7th inning. It affects him. I believe it. Like, LeBron is in their head. He's won 28 of the last 29 games against Toronto and Cleveland. I mean, you might as well call them LeBronto Raptors. And let's just give them a new name. The LeBronto Raptors. This thing, once somebody gets in your head on a big stage, it does not leave. You can go to therapy for years. Like, did you watch what happened in that game 1? Toronto had a double-digit lead in the third, a double-digit lead in the fourth. The coach freaked out. Kyle Lowry freaked out. DeMar DeRozan disappeared. Their best wing shooter couldn't shoot. Like, that is mental more than physical. The last 4 minutes of that game, Toronto missed their last 11 shots. I bet you they didn't lose. I bet you they didn't miss 11 shots in a row to end the game all year long. I don't have it, but I bet it. Against the Cleveland team that's not a great defensive team. You were at home. You were well rested. You had more gas in the tank. Like, LeBron is in their head. You bomb on Letterman, Leno, or Carson, that's in your head, and I don't care how good of a road comic you are. You're never going to get past that. So this is interesting, and I do like Toronto to win big tonight. I like Toronto. We're not going to get into the big bet that McIntyre and I almost made this morning during the team meeting.
Oh, wait. This bet is happening, Colin.
No. It's done. You didn't stand up for it. You called your wife. Once you have to call your wife and get okay.
Geez, you got to call me out on national radio for calling my wife.
Honey, can I bet our Mazda on that?
Hey, out. I laid it on the table. You said no. No, we're done.
Fine.
Okay, let me shift gears to this. So this is a very interesting quote. So Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, it's like a website. He runs it. So he has a quote today. Excuse me, no mechanism here. He says, how does a 6-foot quarterback who ran a 4.8 40 not only first pick in the draft, but a guy that many teams coveted. An executive that was actively evaluating quarterbacks in this draft said if the draft had been held immediately after the college football season ended, Mayfield likely would have been a high second-round pick. Okay, so let's stop it right there. Tape combine scouting, second round. He went number 1 due to intangibles. Now, I want you to know, I was told in the middle of the college football season by an NFL exec that has a lot of success, and I'll leave it at that. This is somebody with a lot of success, that Baker Mayfield was a high second-round pick. And I put that on Twitter. Mike Florio is now his executive. I'm sure it's a different, I'm 95% sure it's a different person, says the same thing. So what we know now is that intangibles were weighted heavily with Baker Mayfield. All I'm saying is I think they put way too much weight into the room and the interview. Baker's baggage with Cleveland's baggage, I think, is an uphill battle. I thought Sam Darnold was a perfect, humble, no baggage, bigger, stronger athlete. No drama with Darnold at all in Cleveland, and it would counterbalance the dysfunction of Cleveland and the steadiness of Darnold's personality. As it is, you've got a baggage quarterback and a baggage franchise. Now, I want to say this to make it clear, that before the draft, I must have done this about 5 times minimum, maybe 7 to 8, that I kept saying over and over, here are my 3 tiers of quarterbacks. So I'm going to do that again to establish it. This is about the 10th time I put this up. I don't think Baker Mayfield is a bust because I think he throws too accurate a football to be a bust. I just think his ceiling is way, way lower than Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, who he's being compared to. I think it's much closer, slightly better than Case Keenum. But I want to give you my tiers now and say it again. I did this multiple times pre-draft. I'll do it again. Rosen and Darnold are my tier 1 guys. These are 10-plus year franchise guys that I think can win now without having great help. I think Baker Mayfield can win now, but needs much, much more help. I don't think Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, if they had Philadelphia's roster, could win now. Those guys are projects, not prospects. I think Rosen, Darnold, Baker are prospects. I think Allen and Lamar Jackson are projects. That means deep second, third. I think they were both overdrafted. But it is interesting, and Mike Florio comes out and says, okay, I have an executive that said, if you're just going on the tape, you're just going on the combine, he's a high second. It's exactly what I was told during the year and went on social media and said, I think I may have said it once about 8 months ago on this show. So I'm just laying it out there right now. Now we have confirmation from somebody who runs Pro Football Talk.
Colin, how much of this is a 23-year-old Baker Mayfield going into these interviews with teams and just blowing them away versus a 20-year-old Sam Darnold, right?
Well,
he's 20 years old. He's sheepish. He'd barely been in college, and now he's going in maybe less confident than a 20-year-old.
Here's what happened in this draft. Here's what truly happened in this draft. Dwight Freeney in 15 minutes, 7-time Pro Bowler all-timer. That Rosen dropped because of personality, and Mayfield skyrocketed because of personality. If you looked at the tape, what I'm about to say, Greg Cosell, Rosen was easily the best thrower in the draft, everybody included. He dropped significantly due to personality. Baker, undersized, 4'8", 40, cocky, rose significantly because of personality. So the question becomes, how much of Peyton Manning's success is personality? How much of Drew Brees' success is personality? How much of Aaron Rodgers' success is personality? How much is just talent? I don't think there's a perfect answer for that. But let's just lay it out. That's now been confirmed. Baker was a high second round and won the room. And so if he succeeds, you could say, Colin, you're wrong. The room matters a ton. I don't know if it matters that much. I think Big Ben is great because Big Ben is big, strong, and great.
Come on, succeeding in Cleveland, Colin? Who was the last quarterback to win in Cleveland? Give me a name. Come on, anybody.
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah. What year was that? Like 1987?
Well, I mean, he was good. Bernie was a good player.
Okay.
All right, Dwight Freeney, Andy Reid, Dante Jones, all around the corner. Hard to find a bigger fan of you, of course, than your mother. And she's been through the teenage years. Let me guess, you were trouble. She's been through the years, the young years of adulthood. She's got to pay your car insurance. I mean, we've all been through that, right? We leaned on mom. Well, here's what's happening, folks. Mother's Day is coming up May 13th. And at 1-800-Flowers, it's called the Mother's Day Rush. After Valentine's, second biggest day of the year for them. 1-800-Flowers says, get on it. 24 for 24 offer. 24 multicolored roses for $1 a rose, $24. Premium roses, rainbow of colors. Now, they not just for your mom, your wife, your aunt, your sister, your grandma. Here's the thing. They're all picked from premier farms, shipped overnight to ensure freshness. Right now, 24 stunning roses, multicolored, $24. 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD. 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD. Mother's Day, May 13th, man. Get on it, fellas.